Okay, today's cleaning is on a old, what was Smith & Wesson called a kit gun. It's a 22 long rifle pistol designed to be carried in your backpack, your tackle box when you went fishing or hunting, and for a little self-protection and small pests and whatnot. Anyway, these were made in the early 1900s and were redesigned several times. This particular model is called a 34-1. Based on the serial number, I think it was made in 1981, and has a 4-inch barrel, and it's done in this nickel, and really nice little gun, very good shape. But wanted to have it. Somebody wanted to have it taken apart and cleaned up, so we'll get into that. So first thing we'll do is check to make sure we're empty here. Everything looks good. Nothing in the gun, so we're clear. So we can start working on getting it apart. So first step, we'll take off the grips. And this is a coil spring versus the typical Smith & Wesson leaf spring. So we'll take care of that in 1 second. Next, we'll take off this crane screw. And the crane will come right out. We'll clean up that cylinder, get it lubed up. But this gun is in pretty nice shape, I can tell already. So I don't think we're gonna have any heavy duty work to do on it, but we'll get there. So we'll go ahead and take off the other screws here. Make sure you have the right kind of screwdriver. You don't want to mar up this finish. And lay your screws out so you can remember which hole they went into. They are, except for the first one, interchangeable, but there's no use messing with that. So the next step, take a small mallet, give the frame, and that side plate should pop right off. That's always a good sign. And it's pretty clean, doesn't look too bad at all. And that will expose your internals. So to get this spring out, here's your hammer block that normally just falls out with this thing. That's not a big deal. You're gonna need to cock the gun. You're gonna push. And take a handy dandy specialty paper clip, stick it into the little hole that gets exposed, and then slowly let that up. And that will allow you to pull that spring and hammer strut right out. And now we can start pulling out various parts of the gun. So again, pull back a little bit on that cylinder release, and you can start working the hammer out. Actually, we'll do it this way. This is the trigger return, and there's a great little tool for this to get these out. It goes on each side of the spring there and keeps it from flying. So be careful as you get to the end here, because it will come flying out. And make sure you have some safety glasses on. There you go. And that should just lift the rest of the way out. So spring, everything looks in great shape there. It's actually pretty clean for a 22, which you usually can get pretty dirty. So once again, pull back on that, and now we can lift the hammer a lot easier. Just kind of work it up and out. be a little tight, but it comes out. So there's your hammer. There's a small spring on the double action sear. And now we can pull back on the hand, get it clear of the frame, and then we can lift up on the trigger and pull that out. Again, these are all pretty tight. Gonna gently work that off. Here we come. And we'll pull the trigger and hand out in one unit. And now we can really get in here. The cylinder stop is a little tiny, and there's a small spring in there unless you need to. It's probably as far as you need to go. There's really no reason to take out this cylinder lock, but you can now get in here and clean all these parts up pretty good. So I'm gonna stop the video here, get this all cleaned up, and be right back when we get it back together. Okay, the gun's all cleaned up, ready for reassembly. I always like to put a little gun grease kind of on the metal to metal surfaces and on these pivot points. Don't want to overdo it, just enough to keep them running smoothly. So anyway, we'll start with the hammer. Pull back on the cylinder stop and ease that into place. Okay, get that going. Then we'll take our trigger and hand, make sure this little stirrup is in the up position there. Get that lined up into its spot. Pull the hammer back so you don't scratch the surface of your gun, and slide that into place. There we go. And now you've got that in place. Next, we'll put in our return. Make sure that your stirrup is in the right spot there. Slides into that little hole there. Get that into position. And use our little tool here to compress, holding it in, compress that spring way down there and get it hooked onto that pin, and it should let us snap it in place. Okay, almost there. There we go. Okay. And once we get the cylinder back in there, we should be able to move everything. Okay. So now we can take our hammer block, set that into position. It goes this way, actually. And get our side plate lined up. Actually, go ahead and put this hammer spring in position first. Okay. side plate goes on. These things are always a little tricky. Get everything lined up just right. And I think we got it there. A few taps in place. All back in place, and get our screws lined up. Actually, we need to put that after we put in our crane. Okay. Slide our crane back in. Naturally. Screw out a bit. Now we can put the crane screw back in. Get that tightened up. Slide our hammer spring into its spot. Cock the gun back. Pull out the pin. And now the gun should be back together. So, and we'll get our grip screws back on and we should be all set. So, that is the cleaning and reassembly of one of these 22 kit guns. Great little guns, definitely worth looking for. Really, this one is a really nice shape. All right, that's it for now. Safe shooting. Talk to you next time.